We are either living in a post-truth world or a truthless world, and either way, it is frickin' depressing. Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber. It is yet another car vlog. It's going to be yet another toned-down car vlog because I yet again have a kid sleeping in the back seat. So it's Friday, there is news, which means that there is fake news, and I think I'm going to go with the term Fake News Friday.
Fake News Friday, oh yeah!
In today's episode of Fake News Friday, it seems the media would have us believe that Donald Trump actually seriously suggested injecting bleach or disinfectant in order to kill the Myshirona. And in case you don't believe me, let me just read you a few headlines. From The Guardian, please don't inject bleach. Trump's wild Myshirona claims prompt disbelief. From The Washington Post, Trump comments prompt doctors and Lysol to warn against injecting disinfectants. From CBS News, Trump speculates about injecting disinfectants to treat the Myshirona. From the BBC News, the Myshirona. Disinfectant firm warns after Trump comments. I think we all get the idea, but let me just read two tweets in particular which really had me grinding my teeth. Elizabeth Warren, we shouldn't be drinking or injecting disinfectants. Let's not further overwhelm our medical professionals, and let's not take medical advice from someone who tried to convince America that the Myshirona was a hoax. And then we have Piers Morgan writing it, oh my goodness, I gotta bring someone into the house. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Alright, the kid left just in time because Piers Morgan's tweet is not for the ears of angels. And in the blue checkmark corner, we have Piers Morgan. New column. Shut the f*** up, Mr. President. Trump's bat-crazy Myshirona cure theories are just shockingly senseless and stupid.
They're going to kill people.
To which I felt compelled to respond, spreading misinformation, thinking it's impactful to be disrespectful, that swearing and blind, frothing rage is a sign of passion, virtue, and rightness. Tweets like this confirm only that you have lost your ability to reason meaningfully, thoroughly, and thoughtfully.
Peace.
So the media and other public figures with huge platforms are actually trying to convince the general public that the President of the United States suggested that people inject bleach or disinfectant into their bodies in order to combat the Myshirona. And people heart these tweets, they retweet these tweets, they share this information as though it's bona fide fact, and I suspect a substantial portion of the people retweeting this information have not even heard the original audio. So before we go one step further, let's just actually listen to the full audio clip. No editing, no spin, no nothing, just the words out of the President's mouth.
Thank you very much. So I asked Bill a question that probably some of you are thinking of if you're totally into that world, which I find to be very interesting. So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see, but the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
Incidentally, if this was in fact the first time you had seen the quote in its entirety, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the clip in its entirety. Now that you have seen the clip in its entirety, let's just go over the actual words Trump uses. And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that? By injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it would be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with, but it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. Having seen, heard, and read the words of what was actually said, does anyone think that anyone is going to come out of that thinking, I'm going to go inject bleach or disinfectant into my body? If anybody watches that video and then thinks that your average person on the street might actually take that to mean they should inject bleach in their body, at least we know where we disagree and we can move on. Some of you might reflexively respond, well, no reasonable person would do it, but there might be people out there silly enough to do it. And for anyone who might reflexively respond in such a manner, you are effectively treating people like they're idiots. You are effectively treating people as if they are so unreasonable that they're going to watch that clip and and come away with the same unreasonable interpretation of what was said. I'm going to say something that I think is as obvious as it might seem bold, because apparently in times of madness, stating the obvious is bold. No one would watch that sound clip and come away thinking that Donald Trump was suggesting that anyone inject bleach or disinfectant into their body to combat the mycorrhizavirus.
There, I said it.
In order to support an interpretation that people are tacitly admitting is an unreasonable interpretation of what Donald Trump said, people might cite that Arizona couple who drank fish tank cleaner in order to kill the mycorrhizavirus. You have people who have killed themselves doing liposuction in their own garage. You do not make rules out of the exceptions. But all that to say, in any other universe other than a post-truth universe, I don't think it would be entirely controversial to say that anybody who watched that clip in its entirety would think it was an unreasonable thing to suggest that Donald Trump was saying, inject yourselves with bleach or disinfectant to fight the mycorrhizavirus. The real problem, too many people are never going to watch the actual clip itself. They're just going to read the grotesque headlines that say Donald Trump said something he never said. The real risk, and I strongly suspect the media knows it, is that when people read headlines that misrepresent what Donald Trump said, they're in fact going to give more credibility to what he didn't in fact say. Try to say that 5 times in a row, but what do I mean by that? When the media misrepresents what an authority figure said, and people don't actually know that the media is misrepresenting what the authority figure said, people are going to lend more credibility to the misrepresented statement. The media is in fact going to induce more people to believe that, hey, if Donald Trump suggested injecting bleach or disinfectant into your veins, then maybe it's not something that's so stupid to begin with. In their misrepresentation of what Trump in fact never said, they create this panic, this fear. Oh my goodness, what if people actually listen to what Trump never said and go out and kill themselves? At which point I'm reminded of the wise words of David Mamet, every fear hides a wish. I genuinely don't like the feeling that the older I get and the more I see, the more cynical I get. But you know darn well that if the media successfully planted the seed of doubt in at least one person's head, one person who went out and injected themselves with bleach or disinfectant and died because the media told them that the president suggested it might be a way to fight the mycorrhizavirus, you know the media would have a field day. They would have a media frenzy field day with the tragic consequences of a situation they helped create. And I suspect that is what David Mamet had in mind when he said every fear hides a wish. And bringing this back not just to law but to life itself, you oftentimes know when you are having an exchange with someone and they are not looking for the truth, they are not looking to have a dialogue, they are just looking to twist your words, take them out of context to make you look bad. It is fundamentally disingenuous discourse that goes absolutely nowhere. The only thing it does is give you an ulcer. All it does is remind me of the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. When you are having a disingenuous exchange with another person, the only thing you can do in order to not drive yourself crazy is to disengage. The problem is when it comes to the practice of law, one cannot disengage from interactions with opposing counsel because that is your job. And so in those circumstances, all you can do is weigh each and every one of your words and have no more interaction than absolutely necessary because you know that the other attorney is not looking for the truth, they are just looking to make a point. And that seems to be the exact same disingenuous nature of the relationship between the media and Donald Trump. And it's the exact same problem in that the president cannot disengage from conversation with the media. All he can do is weigh each and every one of his words so that even the most disingenuous media doesn't take them out of context, but the problem is nobody can do that, and Donald Trump really doesn't seem all that good at doing it in any event. It's something I often say to young lawyers, don't let the dirty side of the practice change who you are, don't let it turn you into the villain. The birds are fighting over there as we say this, which is quite apropos. The other thing I say is don't let it change your perspective of the practice, don't let it turn you into a cynic, but that seems to be a little easier said than done. The same advice holds true for the world at large. The reality is the media knows what it's doing. It creates the scandal because the scandal sells, and it creates the scandal notwithstanding the consequences. Create a tempest in a teapot, and if the teapot falls over and shatters into 1,000 pieces, all the better, it'll get more clicks. And then when you have prominent celebrities and politicians amplifying a misrepresentation from the beginning, it almost legitimizes the misrepresentation. Anyhow, that is my rant for this week's episode of Fake News Friday. Deep breath. If you like my videos and you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below. If you know someone who might appreciate my content and they don't yet know I exist, let them know I exist. I would appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, all of the support links are in the pinned comment, and when you read the news, double check the news, go to the source, watch the original yourself, don't get misled and don't get whipped into a frenzy by misrepresentations in the mainstream media. And now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah.